Here we are, everyone, a place we thought we would never be, or at least a place I thought I'd never be. That's what everybody says. You know, like, I would have never thought I was working as the buzzer operator in Family Feud. And here we are for the introductory episode of I Hate Baseball. And that is currently where we're at. We're currently at the status where I hate baseball, but that always wasn't the case. You're not just getting some guy coming in here. Oh my God, this guy despises baseball. He knows nothing about it. And he's just going to come in here and make a mockery of America's pastime. No, that's not what I'm here for. In fact, baseball was my second favorite sport after hockey growing up. I played it. Oh, I knew how to shield my son like a vampire when I was in, left field, because the sun, of course, was directly in my eyes on the high school field. I learned how to shade my eyes from that. And I was one hell of a hitter. Yeah, I could go the opposite way. That's what happens when you grow up watching Jeter. You try to push everything to right field. But like many people in America's key demographic, baseball wasn't cutting the mustard for me. I don't have time to watch Mike Scioscia walk out there and talk about cereal just so that the pitcher can get out of a tough situation. But as I told you guys many times throughout the NFL season, the NHL season, sports betting can make every single mundane activity in your life the season 4 finale of Game of Thrones. And that's what we're here for, to make baseball exciting during the summer when there's nothing else on except those scam sports. I don't know, those things. I'll ask Josh about some of those because he's betting on things I've never heard about. We're bringing in Josh. The reason this got put together, because he's not just a hockey guy. He's one of these guys who knows a little bit about everything. I don't want to say a jack of all trades, but a master of none, because that'd be pretty insulting.
I'll take that.
But a guy who's going to teach me, and by, I guess, virtue of teaching me, teaching a lot of people out there some of the ways to get the best sniffs when it comes to baseball. Just this weekend already, when he started giving out stuff on my Patreon, I started saying, I know he said that the lines moved. I didn't know they moved like that. It's pretty absurd, and I guess we're going to be learning about that on a day-to-day basis and why it's so important to get these, quote-unquote, best values. So, Josh, thank you for teaching us all, including me. We're going to see. You got a tall order on your hands, but then again, if we're doing all right throughout the course of the summer, I guess I won't mind baseball at all.
Hey, no, another epic, unscripted intro on your part. Watching you go live is so funny. Like, I got nothing, and then boom. Absolutely well said. But no, the line movements are nuts. Within just this weekend, when we're putting out lines, people are like, I didn't have a chance to get that line, which is what betting kind of is down the line. NHL betting, we see you can kind of get something within 5 to 10 points across every book, pretty much across the entire day, without significant line movements or line changes or injuries. But in baseball, it's first come, first serve. We're dropping things between the hours of like 7:30 and 8:30. And we dropped 3 plays today, and already we're sitting with like 30 points on each. I know winning is nice, but the ultimate goal is beating closing line value, which in turn will show that you're on the right side of the market every time.
Why is it so crazy? Is it some game like, hey, we're going to give them a chance to get it just so that they're miserable when they see what they missed out on? Like, why?
It's just there's so many factors involved in baseball compared to other things. Obviously, the matchup's huge, and that's priced in, but there's lots of other things that books aren't really on every day. Like maybe the guy threw 105 pitches in his last game, which was a season high, and he probably won't touch that, so the scale and the projection goes down. Right, it might be a weather-related thing. It could be a lineup, an afternoon lineup where usually they go with a shittier offense. There's lots of things that change, and it's not insane to see like strikeouts go from like 5.5 to 6, or like closing 80 points difference, or catching that 60-point difference at one book before, picking up that one book that's slow to move the other way. I'll do my best to give out books where it's widely available. But watching around and having lots of bouts is really, really important in baseball.
I tell people this all the time with hockey, because with hockey, the good part, well, people won't think this, but I guess one of the best/worst parts, because it's the least bet of the 4 main sports, you had some sites offering things that other sites didn't have at a rate that I didn't see in any of the other sports. Like, this site lets you combine totals with player points. This side lets you take alt shots. This site lets you, but none of them do it all. So you had to go. Like these playoffs, only Bet Rivers. I don't know why. They just love Capo Caco, but he's on there every single day. He's a third line nobody, and they're listing him nobody else, not Bet 365, not ESPN, FanDuel, DraftKings. Oh, but he is there. You know, people would have their shot total. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 1.5 on all these books. 2.5 on Bet Rivers. And if you're not on Bet Rivers, you're just not going to get the chance to do that. So I guess you got to ask yourself how casual you are with it. And I don't blame anyone, because when it comes to the baseball betting, I'm probably more on that end of the spectrum. But then you can't complain if the people who put in the bet on Bet Rivers because it was only available there won and you lost. Yeah, but you didn't give me on my sports. Oh, that's right. You had to do 3 extra clicks to make money. Was that too hard? But yeah, that's something that I always let people know.
And it's difficult. I understand that it's easier to say that than do that and keep money in accounts, like across 5 different accounts. Right? And you're like, I know.
Josh, there's people carrying buckets of water in Albania just for a shekel once a week. I mean, come on. Albanians, relax. I have family here. Listen, I'm down with the Eastern Europeans, okay? But, you had to click join on a sportsbook, and this isn't me advocating sportsbooks because I'm getting paid by them. That's what I do. Like a gargoyle, I go through all the... Okay, for it's NHL, we got to do the undershots on this site. We got to do the point ones on this site. That's just what has to be done. Anyway.
That's what I'm trying to do. So, like, that covers, like, we work with sportsbooks. Like, we just put out our odds and our plays and stuff like that, and we don't really have a relationship with them on our side. But as we're trying to build that, I'm like, bro, like, these books need to use that to their advantage. Oh, Bet365 can put out all these under player point prop parlays where the other books can't. Why don't you promote that? Like, that's where people are going to sign up for, because they don't offer it in other places.
If they came to me, they do not, these donkey sports books, yeah, I'm insulting them directly to their theoretical non-existent digital faces. If they knew how hard I could sell their product based on the truth of the NHL. Yeah. You see the stuff that I put. It's across websites. And I tell people, this is only available on this. Bouchard's shots under 3.5 were only available on FanDuel. Like I said, Nugent-Hopkins 2.5 only available. I could easily use that. But no. All right, sportsbooks, just keep going on Theo Vaughn's podcast. I'm a huge fan. He's hilarious. But who's listening to, a podcast with Tom Segura saying, you know what? I do got to get on Prize Picks. Damn it. That's a free thing for Prize Picks. Anyway, let's keep going.
So for books, like going into baseball, probably a good idea to be like, so Bet365, I know it's not available for everybody. Still my favorite book. I mean, the offerings there are just insane. They've added new baseball markets this year. For unders, that's probably your best bet. And projection-wise, they probably show the best. I mean, can't sit there and win a ton of money just betting overs all the time. There's a reason books will ban you if you only bet unders, because they look at you as a sharp bettor. Because what crazy human beings out there betting unders?
I gotta bring this up. Last time, or one of the times you came on, you casually mentioned that, and then people on the Patreon say, "Can you elaborate on getting banned from the books? What does that mean?" I go, that's for people who bet large amounts on straight bets and unders, a.k.a. the polar opposite of all of you.
Yeah,
none of you are getting banned anytime soon.
Aren't getting banned, that's for sure.
Yeah, pirates are never banned. Sportsbooks are one of the weird few places in this world. Pirates are always welcome. They love a good parlayer, so you guys are all fine.
But it's one of the reasons I parlay. You're talking about things I bet on, like. So I parlay a ton of soccer favorites just to keep the book a little happier on some stuff. Well, I play a lot of unders in baseball. It's kind of a give and take, but you can get banned pretty quickly. It doesn't have to be a lot of money.
The sportsbook's like an angry dad.
It is.
Where every once in a while you have to show up with Dad, I did good on the test, just to be like, all right.
Yeah. Here's my 7-leg parlay that shows you I'm not that smart. There you go.
That's hilarious. All right,
keeping books alive is really important, though. Right? Like if you lost your DK account, you'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah, I did lose it for a while for something I didn't do, and I was furious.
Yeah,
furious.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, Mom, you want to sign up for an account? But like,
we would never do such a thing.
No, but like you run out of options, right? And now you're betting at a tough book. So, Bet365, great for unders. We talk about Bet Rivers. So Bet Rivers is operated. Their odds provider is a company called Canby. So I believe Bet Rivers, Unibet, and
Ballybet.
And what?
And Ballybet is this.
Okay,
is
so
under,
they all have
the
same numbers. So like you'll look at and they have alt unders. Not a lot of other places do, but Bet Rivers is, if you're going 3, you're probably good with DraftKings, Bet365, and probably Bet Rivers, I'd say.
Are people clicking unders a lot in baseball?
Don't. But everybody
really?
bets the over. Like it's Like
no, I'm saying people, like your average person.
Good people unders.
What I'm saying is, don't people normally love betting overs?
Oh yeah, the public likes overs.
Yeah,
but, like,
that's what I was asking.
I don't like it. Betting under shots is it's the least fun thing in sports, right? Like watching guys.
It can be.
The puck at
it
1.5. Like, yeah.
It's a dub. Oh, 1.5. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a scary.
Dangerous.
That's a scary proposition. That's for sure.
But like you can cheer for unders, I think, better in baseball than you can in any other sport. Like for pitching, cheer for pitching, like good to contact early outs or just good defense.
Okay, yeah, that actually does make sense. It's the most exciting under that you can
Sure.
bet on. If
that's the way you want to say. But we started off this morning, and right away we go to the overs, right? But like, so the projections, all these projections are done through Derek Hardy and the Bat. They're also put on covers.com. It's the most influential projection in all of baseball. But like, I'll tell you what's in these projections, because what he actually has in these is bananas. So, all right, these are the hitters. So it's across about every. Come on, scan over. We'll go. Let's go pitchers. So it's obviously an aggregate of a bunch of things. So we got obviously the most important thing when we're talking about this is like a base pitch count. But then it goes.
Yeah, Josh, I don't know why. I think I just started daydreaming. What are we talking about right now? What are you reading off of?
What goes into the projections? Like when we talk about hockey, right? We're like, how much ice time is the guy going to play? Like which line is he on? When we come up with where these numbers come from, like what's going on into it, it's
okay.
Like he's got hit by pitches, right? How many hit by pitches is Billy going to have at the plate today? It's like 0.16. Like it.
Okay, so we're just talking about the data that's giving the lean towards these bets you're about to tell us.
Yeah, exactly. So like I don't know, you're looking at like possibly 30 factors of what goes into the number, which is excessive.
Yeah,
so
the money ball stuff.
It really is wild and how you can project it. But started off with Gausman over 5.5 Ks. We've got that at -125, -120. That was this morning. If we do bring that up, Alex is going to bring that up. See, -132. That's still a great price. We did get it at River, so it's moved 12. So 12 points of closing line value in hockey. You're like, wow, that's really good. But then you look at everywhere else. You're seeing Caesars at -179, right? Like you're not paying -179. If I say go bet -120, -125, you're not laying 79 points.
There's a guy at Caesars. He doesn't look at any of this. He looks at it, and he did this with hockey every once in a while too with points. He goes, well, who is it? No, that's -179. He doesn't care. He doesn't use the others as a gauge, and that's pretty funny. What did you get it opening at again?
-120 at Rivers and Betway.
Wow.
And then gave it a buy price of -130, -135. I wouldn't go past that. I don't know.
Do you think Rivers has to give you the best price because they're the smallest sports book?
Who's that?
Like, does Rivers have to give you the best price because they are seemingly the smallest sports book?
No, it's fun. It's a funny market, right? So Pinnacle isn't there. And I told the chat the other day, if you're looking to see where the market's going, Pinnacle, I know it's not a brand name in America as much, but it's one of the sharpest books. And what they have like an auto correction. So when someone bets it, it moves automatically. And what these books are doing is playing catch up to Pinnacle's line most of the time.
Oh,
so you can see where Pinnacle is and then see where the market's going. So I believe Pinnacle right now is like minus 161.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a 2.5 receiving yard over late in the season.
Yeah.
I bet it. I bet $250 on it. Boom. The second my bet was over, the 2.5 yards went to 3.5 yards. It couldn't have been that it had to be that a bet came in.
Oh, for sure.
And because it was at 2.5 the whole time, then I placed one dinky bet on it, and right after that, the millisecond, it's at 3.5.
Like if that book knows that classifies you, like if you would want to know what the books have as your profile, like you'd hate to see the adjectives that are beside your name, maybe. If you're out there.
Scumbag. What do you mean? I could never be insulted. I've heard the worst things you've ever imagined. I would laugh. Like my Apple descriptions of people, you know, when they come in, you come in for a Genius Bar appointment and they say, oh yeah, a friendly looking man with an apple. I would say that disgusting scumbag with a Pirates shirt. I would have the best descriptions, get fired, and then end up right back here on YouTube. So the bet was a strike over 5.5 strikeouts.
You're also lucky you didn't get the spinning. Do you know what the spinning wheel of death is, which is the worst thing that they can do? You put in your bet, you click bet, you put your 250 in there, and it spins, and then it says the odds change. So it took your information, took your money, took that valuable information, said Andy's smart, now we're going to move the line, and we won't even accept his bet. So there was zero risk in taking that.
That is a scumbag move.
That is, yeah.
What? And then FanDuel allows you to click something. Never, just automatically always accept odds change so that you almost don't even know what happens.
Yeah, that can get greasy. So let's go Gausman at home. Baltimore's, and they're a great team, but a lot of that's backed on their pitching staff. They're an average hitting team. This is a guy who's 4-1 to the over on this number over his last 5, just his last start. Better at home on the mound with the strikeout stuff. And the Jays bullpen. I mean, when we're talking about strikeouts and we're talking about outs and overs, you want guys to get 100 pitches. You want, you know what I mean? If that bullpen's beat up, that's way better for the pitcher because his leash is going to be longer, and that's a word you're going to hear a lot of when you're betting pitchers.
Are we always going to have Toronto players because you're up there? Is that what it is?
This one popped, and on the projections, it's so funny. This one projects for like 1.3 over, which is, I mean, it's almost a 60% win rate there. They usually don't pop. The overs don't pop. So when they do, you're like, oh, I better jump on that. It's showing a 3-star there, but this is really a 5-star play on that with that projection and how it goes. But that's what we're going on there. They lost their two best relievers last night, Green and Garcia. They pitched 25 plus innings, and baseball players don't like to pitch that many, throw that many balls in back-to-back games, Andy, because they're delicate. So they probably won't be in today either. All
right, I got 125 to win 100. That's my bet on that. So that's what okay. I told the viewers.
I'm 75 in on it today. 75 across the board. That's where my unit is after this last month. It's gone. The unit change has gone down from 100 plus down to 75.
Well, what I'm going to do is just because I really, when it comes to hockey and talk, I'm not sitting here I'm not doing math for all you people going back and retroactively. I really don't care. But since I don't have to worry about giving out picks and always focusing on everything, now I can just say what I'm betting and we'll see where I'm at the end of the summer. I hope I lose so I can show you people what it's like to take it on the chin like a man and stop complaining like a little bitches that most of you are. Oh my, are you insulting your audience? No, I say this to my best friends. So just consider yourself a part of the in-group. All right, what's next on the old charts here?
Jump over to the San Francisco-Arizona game, if we can jump over to that matchup. These are one of my favorite props to hit. He's right. That's first base, total bases. Go to total hits if you can, please. And it's going to scroll. It's probably at the bottom because it's going to show on the over, but we're not betting the over. We're betting the under. And we'll just pop up all the odds all the way down to the bottom because it projects as the worst over, which means it's projected as the best. There he is. There's Buddy. Trenton Brooks.
He is.
Eight at-bats already, Buddy. He doesn't even finish a game. This is your kind of bet. This is a no-name guy. He's a rookie. He's a 28-year-old rookie, which is like not a rookie. So we're seeing that number, seeing plus 33, plus 145, under 0.5 hits. We got it plus 160 at Bet365. We're seeing that number come down. Plate opportunities and plate appearances is the most important thing here. This guy stinks. This guy's a left-handed hitter who will only hit right-handed pitching. When that right-handed pitcher comes out, we're going to see, hopefully, the left-handed bullpen. Arizona's got 3 lefties ready to go. That means he's going to come out. There's a chance. At plus 160, you know what plus 160 is, Andy? Like a money line plus 160? Like, that's a big dog.
Huge.
Massive. So
the
if
Oilers,
we go that way,
the Oilers are, to me, the Oilers are a huge dog, and they're not even close to plus 160.
No. So if we can get, there's a chance he gets 2 plate appearances, right? If you can project 2 plate appearances, you're making this bet every day. Don't care what happens in the first 2. The bet is mostly on, will he stay in the game? He started 2 games. He's only finished 1. If he doesn't start, well, the bet's void. So it's a low-risk play on the situation, plus 160, big number. This guy has 1 hit so far in his MLB career, struggling. Could even be pushed down the line. So down the line in the order, hitting 7th, projects for 7th. So this under looks good.
All right, so I'm going 65 to win 100. About, like, that's roughly what it is. Okay. So that's where I'm going. So, every once in a while, Alex, I want you to pull up, while Josh is talking about that, pull up a nice picture of these people. I got to learn who these people are.
You don't. We're betting on nobodies, right? That's the thing. This guy,
I specialize in nobodies.
He's a 20.
There's a chance he finds this video. I mean, if he's a nobody, there's a video with 4 minutes talking about him. This guy, he's got a monocle on.
There you go.
Oh man, you guys want to know what it looks like when you're 28? When you're 28 and still haven't made it? That's called frustration. I know, but I mean, that was me going on auditions for 8 years after year number 8. That was me in that waiting room with the script. You think this guy might have he might get a hit because I'm miserable. He doesn't even care if he strikes out anymore. This guy might actually get a hit.
2,648 minor league plate appearances.
Oh my. Yo, think of the bus rides. Think of the places this guy's been. Think about when he wanted a sandwich late at night the night before in one of these obscure towns. Where was he going? Where was he getting
Lincoln, Nebraska, Arkansas, Colorado, Las Vegas, Sacramento.
I mean, that's I think they had to manipulate that. The MLB editors had to manipulate a smile, which you can do on Photoshop with Liquify. They literally curved his mouth upwards there. That's the closest this guy's getting to a smile. Now, all right, so we got those 2. And then what was big number 3?
Big number 3 is a tough one. So Pete Alonso for an RBI. We go to the Mets game. Boom. Attaboy. All right, we still got the 200. That's fantastic. All right. These are funny ones. So if you're ever trying to, we're trying to always recreate that 2-point parlay, but in other sports, it was the best thing in betting, I thought, this year until they nuked it. Right? Getting we were getting
their nuke wasn't that devastating. End of the year, I'm still getting Wyatt Johnston and Jamie Benn plus 1,400.
That's wild, yeah. That's pretty good. But we were getting plus 325s for Panarin and Trocheck.
Yeah, you weren't getting Kyrou and Thomas or Buchnevich and Thomas anymore. Yeah. Yep.
So the total RBIs one is kind of in that wheelhouse. If you go 2 RBIs, put 4 guys together, do it that way, you can kind of get plus 800, plus 700 odds for each guy. It's a tough one. I'd prefer obviously the player points, but that's kind of there too.
So wait, what do? You have to take the over on RBIs with what? What's the equivalent?
You go to alt over RBIs, so over 1.5. So it's kind of like a point parlay in this spot, but yeah, over 1.5, and you can take 4 guys and do the 2, 3, 4.
So you basically need him to hit a double instead of a single that would bring someone in, or a sacrifice fly, or
a sacrifice fly counts. Home run, knocks himself in. He's just got to knock in 2 runs. But today, Pete Alonso plus 200. We just need him to knock in 1 run. Plus 200 is just a massive number for Pete Alonso, who can do this himself. The price has gone up because he's hitting in the second hole in the league, or in the Mets lineup. And guess what? The Mets aren't that great right now, but Lindor's hitting in front of him. Plus 200's wild. Fernando Tatis, Same spot, number 2 in the order in San Diego. Today, he's plus 125. Opportunity and spot in the lineup is everything here. Alonso has 4 RBIs over his last 3 games. He's got 1 in 7 at-bats versus Mackenzie Gore, who he's facing, and Mackenzie Gore's kind of pitching above his numbers. And he crushes lefties, so that's kind of where I am with this. These aren't plays that hit 50% of the time, obviously, because they're plus 200, but these are plus EV plays, and if you look down the board, you're seeing some plus 165. Guess where?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Caesars. There's your Caesars guy again.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care what your lines are. I'm telling you, Rivers.
That's our guy. That's our guy.
That's who I'm. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I saw an article or two. Are the Mets a full disgrace or something? What, didn't they just have a guy in the news who said like, I'll show up if they want me to?
Yeah, the guy's second language is English, right? And like the reporters just hosed him down. He said he's probably the worst teammate in baseball. Not his team is the worst team. So they vilified him, obviously, and then whatever trash publication is.
Man, I tell you, and this is obviously an own thing. I know they're scumbags. We all know they're scumbags, but how they continue to do this is like, I just wish there was a way people can revolt. Like whoever did that, whoever kept poking and prodding with those questions, they got to be deducted like $600. Something has to happen because that's absurd. Now, are the Mets, are they awful?
Yeah, they're trash. Yeah. They're one of the highest paid teams. They obviously got one of the richest owners, and they can't win.
So how the hell were we just watching that guy celebrate with some Gatorade on the field?
Baseball players will celebrate a win even when they're 24 and 35 on the year.
Well, they don't. Fair enough. So I got 50 to win 100 on that one.
There you go. Yeah, so plus 200 still good on that. Should go down, but like we're gonna have great closing line value on all those. But like that play, that's certainly not a 50% play. It's not a coin flip, but there's a spot where he can do it by himself, which is pretty important. So I'll take some Pete Alonso at plus 200. These markets usually don't pop, but that one is today certainly.
Over the weekend, there was one that was wild that you put out there. What did it open at? And then what did it close at? Because these ones at least look somewhat okay in terms of the movement. You can still
shop around, like you can still shop around and find it, but like the other ones were like Charlie Morton yesterday. It was like I think we got him at like minus 105, and he closed at like minus 180.
Oh my God!
Yeah, no, we've had 80 points already this week, and he had 4 strikeouts after 2, and then we got hosed on a called ball that was a strike. And he got hooked, and he finished with 6. He was at 4 after 2, and he couldn't get to 7.
All right. Well, I vowed to myself to keep these shorter than the hockey thing, so I'm just going to end this right now. I don't care. Is there anything left? If you want to sneak anything quickly?
No, those are the 3 plays. We'll start off on content day, bud.
All right. Cool. So, just so you know how this goes down, Josh posts these. I don't know when he wakes up in the morning. I'm always going to be sleeping at that time.
Between 7 and 8:30.
He puts them in the MLB chat that I have in the Patreon, and then when I wake up, like I'll repost them as a post. I'm trying to get him access so that he can create actual posts like I do, but Patreon's being sleepy. They're not getting the good prices on any of these lines, I'll tell you that right now. But regardless, he'll have those in the MLB chat on the Patreon, and also I'll repost them, but eventually he'll get the access to post them himself, and you guys will get email notifications. That's patreon.com/Andy Francess. And because I'm not a prick, nor do I care, Josh, you plug anything that you want to plug.
What do I got?
Didn't you say something when we were talking about
Dick Pole? We'll plug Dick Pole. Hey Josh, do something professional. Dick Pole baseball cards. When you win bets, you buy cool cards. That's what I do. When you win bets, you buy Woody Held. And that's all we do over here.
Woody I like Held, that. Look, we all have our things. Some of us buy Kruger's gloves. Some of us buy Power gloves. Some of us buy baseball cards with the first name Dick in them. Now, does any Dick qualify? Or does it have to be some sort of funny name? I don't
discriminate.
So you're not kidding. You have a full collection of cards with people named Dick?
Fosbury, high jumper. Created the Fosbury flop. Oh, bud, it doesn't stop.
Now, what's the satisfaction?
We get a little crazy. Miles Wood. We're not just Dick people here. We're Miles Wood. There's a nice little 3-color patch with auto?
I don't know, Josh. Some people would say you're projecting. Anyway, I think it
Rod
was.
Rust.
Who's that?
Rod Rust.
I love that last name. Rust and crust are two of my specialties, as Alex knows, who's editing this. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming in for the first episode of the show. How long are you going to have to wait for the next episode? Tomorrow. We got Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Why am I not doing them Thursdays and Fridays? Because I don't want to. That's why. I want to take some time in the summer and relax, and I want to be somewhat gargoyle-free so that when football starts up, I'll be back and rested. You know, like when the Pasternak got eliminated from the playoffs, and then he's playing in a championship game over there in Czechia. I'm not playing in that game. I'm going on my couch.
Saw him on the floor. I'm like, how did he score? Where did he come from? Right? I'm pretty sure he scored the first goal. Like,
I mean, isn't that a little bit of a scam? You get eliminated from the playoffs, and then you show up for the championship game or something, like a ringer when you're in high school or something. That guy's not
right. He was shit too.
That's so funny. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming here. Also, do those things I asked for. You know I don't ask. You think I want to sound like every other donkey on YouTube? Hey, man, like, comment, subscribe. That's what I need. I need that, or this stuff doesn't grow, and that's what I need to do, okay? Thank you guys so much. I will talk to you tomorrow. See you later.
I don't want none of you doing this. No, get the ball, wait for it, come, and I want you throwing everything you got.